Hello, hello. So we're not in the usual spot today. I'm actually out in Berlin for EVA show. Gonna have some content coming on that soon, so stay tuned. While I'm here, I just wanted to launch the first episode in a Talking with Tech interview series. I'll be talking all things tech and the future with notable people in the tech community. First up, we've got will.i.am. Me and Will actually spoke last year during the summer, and a lot of the stuff we talked about was about AI, Web3, VR and stuff. And more how that's going to lead into the future. So it's all still relevant, despite we've got things like the Apple Vision Pro launched now, which had only just been announced back when me and Will spoke last year. So things are still really relevant, and Will had a lot of interesting things to say. So here's the episode.
Okay,
Are you ready?
great. Yeah. So I wanted to start off talking about Web3 because that's an area that you're working in at the minute with FYI and the new app. So Web3 has kind of exploded over the past couple of years with things hitting the headlines. People actually understand what it is. Just where do you think we're kind of at the minute in terms of Web3 as a technology?
Let's say that the place that we are with Web3 is in the defining stage.
Yeah.
Like when it went from Web 1.0 to Web 2.0, no one really knew what Web 2.0 was going to be in that, beginning of the shift. The mobile computer and applications in 2007, 7 and 8, no one knew how the world was going to change with Web 2.0. We all saw what Web 1.0 did. They gave us the internet. To access the internet, we were at home or the office or sometimes a coffee shop, but we were confined in one place. Web 2.0 took us around the world, like literally. Like you had the computer and the internet in your hand, in your pocket at all times. And as it developed, you're able to see deliveries as it came to wherever you were. Uber's delivery services like Postmates, Deliveroo, DoorDash, et cetera, et cetera. From Uber to Lyft to Careem, et cetera, et cetera. Web 1.0 didn't give us that. Web 2.0 also gave us social media and filters on cameras. And some bad things came with that. Body dysmorphia, facial reconstruction for folks whose faces were actually nothing wrong with them at all, but they wanted to look like the filter. Because of likes and dopamine. Web 2.0 taught us that apps and the way they're designed can affect how we think about ourselves and our place in the world and how we interact with people. Web 2.0 gave us like information overload and notification bombarding and turn everybody that used to make fun of folks with ADD and attention disorders to everybody got attention disorders. Web 2.0 did that. But it also did amazing things, Web 2.0 and Web 1.0. So what is Web 3.0 going to do? We're seeing generative everything reshape the world. We now know the powers of blockchain and ledgers, but maybe it wasn't what we thought it was going to be in the early 20s, right? Maybe it's not NFTs. Maybe it's not crypto the way we practiced it before crypto collapsed. But maybe it's a combination of blockchain architecture, IoT, and generative AI, and companies that build around those three principles in any discipline and domain. What is that going to be? It's going to be transformative, like Uber was transformative. Without GPS, there is no Uber. Without a flat screen and these chipsets like ARM or AMD and Qualcomm, there is no Uber, right? So the chipset, the hardware, the software gave us this transformative type of, gig economy transportation. So Web 3.0 is going to unearth new types of industries, new types of jobs, concepts, and how we live. So I want to be a part of that, defining it. It's not defined yet. If you got a big imagination, bring it. Let's go. If you got if you're curious and have the ability to solve problems, bring it. Let's go. You could use these tools, blockchain, IoT, generative AI, to solve yesterday's problems that have always been ignored. And by solving those problems, you're going to create new industries. Bring it. Let's go. So that's why I'm excited about Web 3.0, because we're in that definition stage.
Yeah, and so you talk about getting involved, and that's obviously in the biggest way through FYI. Could you tell me a little bit more about the app?
So FYI is a messenger for creative collaboration. It's a digital asset manager, a very well thought out messenger for creative communication. What do I mean by that? Let's say WhatsApps and traditional messengers, they don't treat digital assets or art in the way that we would like for them to be treated. No artist that works on music wants their song just to be a file, and with no ability to name it, archive it, and put thumbnails on it on WhatsApp, or search it for the context of the song. No, why can't you do that? So we address this basic things for creatives in the different fields that they're in, from art to music to illustration to photography, and put the digital asset manager in the messenger. So you don't have to, have comments in Dropbox, but communicating on WhatsApp about what it is that's in the Dropbox. Like, that's broken.
Yeah.
And then for large files or large sessions, having to WeTransfer it and send it on email because you can't open it on the Dropbox. I mean, on a WhatsApp. That just doesn't make any sense. So we've combined a lot of those principles: digital asset management, communication, collaboration, conferencing, with generative AI baked in the core of the platform, and issuing every single person elliptical cryptography keys, because end-to-end encryption is not enough, and blockchain and NFTs told us that. So for things that are dear to us, that we're passionate about, that we care about, that are precious to us, we should be given keys. Like, if I went to the bank and put my bracelet or my necklace or my valuables there, they're going to give me keys to my safe. But when it comes to messengers and encryptions, somebody has the key, I don't. And so the user is the only owner of their encryption methodology, their encryption key. And the folks that made the encryption methodologies, we don't have access to any of that. That's yours. What's yours is yours. And here's AI to help supercharge your creativity, and send you on your way to materialize your dreams and aspirations. That's the vision of FYI and how we've executed. Sorry, I keep on scratching my nose. My allergies are kicking my ass.
No worries. So you talk about AI and AI being involved. Where does that come into play?
All right now, people are having isolated conversations with AIs, and then they come and copy and paste and bring those conversations into a messenger. On FYI, you have generative AI baked into the messenger, where you can put a team thread together, or a family thread together, and incorporate AI into the thread. So with your team and your fam, or whoever it is you're collaborating with, you're also collaborating with AI on any subject there in the thread. You obviously have one-on-one chats with AI, but you have it on group threads, you have it on project threads. And starting there, I think it's going to change what teamwork is. It's going to change what to-dos and tasks, and supercharging your creativity.
You guys have got your own language model for the AI, rather than piggybacking off OpenAI or someone like that.
So I believe we will have our own LLM shortly, but in the meantime, I believe, let's say the folks that make the large language models, are refrigeration. Let's say that Chat GPT and OpenAI are General Electric. Let's say that Google is Westinghouse. You know, Claude, not Claude, Bard, and Palm. Let's say that Anthropic and Claude are a different type of refrigeration company. In the world of refrigeration and refrigerators, the company that benefited from refrigeration and refrigerators the most is Coca-Cola. And they didn't have to freaking develop refrigerators. They just had a product that you didn't want hot. So
Yeah.
the folks that actually make the model or make the refrigerator, maybe they're not the champion of the technology in the future. I'm not saying it's going to be FYI. We hope it's FYI, and we will build our own LLMs. But I think collaborating is what to do now, and having an experience, an experience, and business practices to where you're safe. So our mission at FYI is to keep your digital assets safe. And that's going to come even further when we have our own LLMs, to where the servers that are secure and not shared on the public. So at the moment, we collaborate with OpenAI. We're going to add other models onto the platform shortly. I've invested in several foundation model companies, OpenAI being one of them earlier on, and others. I'm really election. I'm excited about Runway's growth. I'm excited about Hugging Face and what they do, what Clem and the guys do there. I'm excited about, obviously, Google's play with Palm and the things that they do moving forward. I love the concept of open source. But all that being said, regulations and governance is the most important thing. And until then, companies that have sound moral business practices that don't undermine people's civil liberties and privacy is that's our whole focus at our company, FYI, is to empower the creative, is to empower the and champion the folks that are on our platform, and ensure that our business practices supercharge them, value them, and support their aspirations and dreams, and keep and a safe place for people to create and communicate and collaborate.
Yep.
And we will have our own LLM. What day is it today? May 30th?
1st of June.
No, it's June 1st. June 1st.
Yeah.
By 2024, June 1st, we will have a couple of them. So, and we're working on that now, in the process of that. But by the end of the year, we'll have text to image, text to video. We'll have a lot of cool things for creatives to do on a messenger, like FYI.
The app, is it currently available, or is that still coming later this year?
No, FYI is out now. Go to the App Store. It's there. We're working on fine-tuning our desktop and tablet. Super excited about what the future of FYI and creative enterprise is going to be. There's going to be shit tons of jobs that are rendered obsolete, but there needs to be a place for people to create, imagine, and collaborate on tomorrow's industries. Where is that going to happen at? You're going to build tomorrow's industries or communicate and dream up these industries on old school messengers? Maybe somebody needs to inspire folks to dream at a place where dreams can actually be ping-ponged and fine-tuned with people and your team and AI to boot, with, like I said, moral practices that don't undermine people's civil liberties and privacy.
And so then one other brief I wanted to discuss AR and VR, which is obviously another big tech at the moment alongside AR. Like we've had a bunch of headsets come to market just this week, and you guys, the Black Eyed Peas, obviously experimented with AR with Masters of the Sun. How do you think that industry has shifted since then?
Baby steps.
Yeah.
I think AR and VR, compared to what AI's done in like what 9 months, I think AR and VR is taking a very slow pace. We've seen what speed actually looks like now. And I think we're going to see a massive leap from 2024 to 2030 with a combination of AI and AR, AI and VR. Right now, as we talk, right, we're talking right now, June 1st, 2023, there is no AI device. Right?
Yeah.
We're just using AI in old devices.
Yep.
There is no native, there's no device made for AI yet. So I think, what is that going to be? Web 3.0, it's going to be an amazing, it's going to be an amazing 5 years. What we do for the rest of this decade. It's going to transform how humanity, what our society is going to be moving forward. It's going to be defined in these 5 years. It's amazing right now to be creating, to be ambitious, to be audacious, to be fearless, to be collaborative, to inspire, to be taught, to be coached, to be pushed, to have concerns, to solve problems. It's the most amazing time right now. So, like I said, to your question, AR, VR, turtle pace compared to AI, but the combination of the three, the combination of AI, AR, or AI and VR and IoT and blockchain, get the fuck out of here. Do you understand what the fuck gonna go down in the next 5 years that's really gonna be the blueprint of how we educate, how we practice law, finance, shop, solve problems, wellness, fitness, nutrition, loneliness, mindfulness? Like, you understand how the world's going to change in ways that humanity's never seen. This is like a new renaissance popping off. And there's a lot of concerns at the same time. And without solving those concerns, it could either be very bad. We have to really address these concerns, because I want it to be really good.
So you touched on there about how the combination of these three technologies is going to help in education and teaching. That's obviously something that's important to you from the Angel Foundation. So how have you seen being able to involve these technologies in the education that you're doing there?
That's where the regulations need to come in.
Yep.
Right now, I was born in 1975, and when I was born, I didn't have something tracking me my whole entire life growing up. I didn't have to worry. I have to worry about, my mom didn't have to worry about how I played with my toys and how something was going to predict how I was going to do things that's going to stifle me from doing the things that I ultimately wanted to do, because I have some predictive algorithm on me my entire life. Like, there's some people that are, classism is a bitch, racism is a bitch. In a way, we have, I grew up with some type of algorithm or bias I didn't choose to be African descent. I was born this way, and it's beautiful. But the world had a hard time with it. I had a hard time. Some people had a hard time growing up in the world with that. But that's a natural thing, and how humanity responded unnaturally. I mean, the concept of disadvantage is like somebody created that. If you didn't have a physical deformity, But even that concept, like, what does that mean? Physical deformity. When that's all designed. So a person who is, you know, I don't even know the right terminology for someone who's shorter than me.
Yep.
But if somebody's shorter than me significantly, are they deformed? Or did the designer who designed the bathroom and the toilet not keep them in mind when they designed the sinks, the knobs? Right? So what does that mean with AI and education? So without regulation, and we have these models that are wrapping themselves around people as they grow from infancy to adult, there's no rules on how that information can be used against them in the future. How the algorithm that's predicting and guiding them where they go, like some, you know, digital sheepdog. Like, we are in a new realm, and without regulations and governance to ensure that people don't do that to people, urgent we need to make to ensure that people are safe, that AI is safe for individuals, clusters of data doppelgangers in the communities that they live in. But what are the good things that come with AI in education? I grew up hyperactive, and for some people that were like me growing up, the teacher's impatientness on wanting everybody to be the same, and little Bobby or little Willie or little Billy or little Melissa or little Michelle, a lot of times they prescribe Ritalin for them to calm them down so they could be like everyone else, because the teacher did not have the capacity to address every single student as they are, how they learn and what they're good at. Our education system made everyone fit into a similar, teaching regimen, and how everyone perform and judged and trained and educated to fit some type of cookie cutter program. With AI, you have individual education that's forever learning. Right? Forever learning is going to be important moving forward, because there's going to be shit tons of jobs and people have to be reskilled. Forever learning is where we are now. Terminology is reskilled, because there was never such thing as a concept of forever learning.
Yeah.
So, and to be reskilled, there was never a concept that a whole entire industries and ways that people made a living at one go, lots of them are going to be obliterated. Factories in the past, hey, if you are a candlestick maker, yep, light bulbs are going to threaten your business. If you made lanterns and you threaten that.
Yep.
Right? But that was one industry. Illumination. And in the third industrial revolution, no one knew that the automobile, how it was going to impact horse and buggy. And that was since the fucking Egyptians, bro. Motherfucking chariots and horses and shit. But that's thousands of years. And the freaking automobile changed that. But still, it's one industry, transportation on ground. And flight, that changed a lot of things, how we traveled forever. Flight. That came and didn't really threaten much. Maybe threatened ships. But boats are still important. So forever learning is throughout, hold on, let me go back. Throughout all those different transformations, education has pretty much been similar. Education has been similar since the third industrial revolution. How people taught people, how experts taught people. It didn't really change that much. Classrooms have been classrooms for a while. Same style, same way of teaching. You go to some elementary, some like high school or some version of that in the UK. Then you go to university or college, and then you go get your master's, and that's it. Maybe you go, And once you get a certain age, maybe if you're super passionate, you continue to learn. But with AI, you're gonna have this agent that's yours, right? I'm optimistic that governance and regulations favor individuals and people's civil liberties. And so that way, when you have your forever learning educational companion, it's yours. You don't have to worry about anything. Like, you remember a long time ago, not that long ago, people had libraries in their houses if you're like super rich.
Yeah.
And then you had like your record collection if you were like super rich. You had your family album. You had your TV in the house. You had all your stuff. If you had a laptop and a computer in your house, everything was on your shit. And then for some reason, something came and everybody started giving all their shit to everybody else. Your family albums, your photos, your music, your library, your books. Everybody got your shit. You just got access to stuff. But more importantly, these companies had access to you. That's fucking insane that we gave up. They cleverly duped us to give up all of our personal stuff for what? Meanwhile, we have the most intelligent thing that ever existed because everybody gave everything to these few doppelgang, these few data monarchies. It's insane. So I think where this is going to go is that we're going to have our AIs that are ours, that are housed in some device that's at your house that's yours. Like, for example, I don't share my fucking refrigerator with my neighbors. I got my own refrigerator in my house. You ain't gonna get no house or no apartment and be like, excuse me, can you tell me where the community refrigerator's at? where's the you're not gonna move into a house like that. You're not gonna move into an apartment like that where it's like, and excuse me, where's the community restroom? Where's the community bathroom that has where I store my toothbrush, my toothpaste, and my toiletry shit? Why is our personal stuff shared amongst everybody's stuff? It makes no sense. But that's the world we live in right now, where your stuff is on somebody's cloud, but the things that you consumed, that somebody has their hand in your cookie jar, but the stuff that you eat, your cupboards and your food that you eat, the refrigerator, that's still yours. It's your private stuff. But the stuff that actually makes you is somewhere else. That's insane. And so with forever learning, we need to have our own servers in our house, our own shit, our own cloud, our personal cloud for our personal stuff. Like, some rich people have like nannies. Some rich people have like house cleaners. Like, but even rich and poor, very few have their own server with their own AI in their house. I don't care how rich you are, how poor you are, very few people have that. And I think we're going to have some version of that in Web 3.0, where new devices, AI devices that are, and your whole job to ensure that your AI is yours, and you're going to be training it, feeding it, tuning it, so it works for you and your family to get you from point A to point B and anything you want to do in life, not just like GPS, anything, anywhere, any destination, financially, conceptually, health-wise, wellness, whatever it is.